You know it's bad when Twitter is trending China FUD. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new, subscribe, bell button, leave a like. I hope you're good. Let's talk about this. No, this is not a bearish video. This is an obvious buy the fucking dip video. So make sure you listen, pin your ears back, give it a like, share it to your friends who are panicking and probably selling the dips. We're going to look at some things because this is classic market manipulation, and I'm going to explain why it's important. We need to figure out one thing and one thing certain. What is this China news? And realistically, it's just old recycled shit. China always want to influence a market when they're in the shit. They're in the shit right now, right? Whenever something doesn't go their way, something goes wrong. The mining elements in May time, was that when the Chinese miners were moving to America? Oh, global warming and all that bollocks, right? Realistically, it's all a front to make people panic, so just be careful, right? But we will talk about the markets, we'll go over some charting as well. It's not looking great at the moment, but for me, as an influencer, as a person of authority that can kind of tell people what to do in a way, I'm telling you now, do not panic. I'm also telling you not to listen to certain influencers because they're fucking useless, but that is beside the point and not a part of this video. However, when we start looking at this, it's important to note that this is an element of old news, right? So you can see here, la 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 la, but this is where the proof is. Proof in the pudding. Basically, it's old stuff. It is old, recycled shite. And this is where the problem is. This recycled shit is then put on the smaller outlets. It is then brought to the attention of bigger outlets because they've got nothing better to do on a Friday other than scratch their arsehole. They're bored. Oh, there's no news. Oh, hold on a minute. There's a bit of a rumbling here that maybe China's doing this, that, and the other. Okay, what we're going to do, boys and girls, well, let's just make a really clickbaity title and article going, China declares all cryptocurrency transactions illegal. Fuck off, BBC. That is literally how I feel. And this is what happens. This is why people are manipulated into selling their assets at a cheap, discounted rate. So do not take note of it. It was when the FCA put a little bit of a cap on certain things with Binance. All that was, Binance, can you give us some information, please, of what you're doing and why you're doing it, and put some disclaimers on, please? But no, to the worldwide media, it was Binance bans UK people forever, and you're going to get 10 spanks for it. What? Yeah, I'm joking. But you get the picture, right? They over elaborate. It's like the clickbait thumbnails, and I always say I'll never put my face on a thumbnail because why would I want to look like a Burke on a thumbnail? Sorry, I digress. Anyways, this is important news. Not because it's wrong, it's because it's showing fear from, in my opinion, the governments and stuff regarding what is happening. Yesterday, big news was announced regarding Twitter. You can send cryptocurrency, i.e. Bitcoin, to your pal via the Lightning Network. That is phase one. Phase one of this, in my opinion, the start. Utilizing a multi-million people network, basically, which all it is, which is awesome, which is what we need, into being able to go, well, Western Union, it'll take 4 days and $50 or whatever to get whatever to whatever country, right? But you can do it instantly with Bitcoin. That is baffling. And yeah, sorry, I'm on a ramble. Do apologize. But these headlines will create FUD. They will create that fear, that uncertainty and doubt, and you will sell your bags. And you shouldn't. But let's look at the charts, right? I'll be honest with you. The charts don't look healthy, and we're going to start again. We're going to refresh the bugger and go from an absolute solid basis. Yes, we are in a downtrend. That is clear. However, realistically, is it terrible? Not really. Why? Because when you start zooming out on that weekly, we peaked here. Bitcoin peaked here. We've had a pullback. We're starting a new impulse here. And I think we're going to pull back into a range and then we're going to go again. And I think what the next probable move is for me is the all-time high retest. That's my personal opinion, not financial advice. Speculation, right? The dollar index today is going up. The Bitcoin dominance is going up because obviously the altcoins are falling off their ass because Bitcoin's falling down. But if we're looking at a solid point of view, in my opinion, this low to this high, we are on a crash course towards basically 37k potentially. It might actually stop beyond that, but it's still looking like structure. Yes, we have this downtrend, but realistically though, there appears to be a ton of support around this level, in my opinion. We've had it before in the past, we've had it as resistance here, we've broken through, we've acted as support, we may well act as support here. So in terms of building this chart back up and this level potentially, which is green, but we'll go with it for now, for 2 seconds. Put that as it is. That could be the area where demand sits in, and demand could be found and utilized on that weekly time frame. If that is the case, right, and we then go for a breakout of this point, if this holds, obviously, we could be looking at the all-time high retest again, right, which could be breakout from this level up to 59k, potentially up to 68k. That'd be awesome if that is the case. But we have to look at the facts here, right? I'm more bullish than bearish. Why? Because Q4 is always bullish for crypto. September is always a shit month anyways. It's just one of those things. We've had ghost month throughout this month. We've got China FUD again, yeah, which seems very, very manipulated. But realistically though, nothing's changed in the whole market. If anything, catalyst elements are getting bigger and better. Polkadot parachain auctions are coming very, very soon, right? That's a big case for layer 1 blockchains getting built on a layer 0. We've got the payment system on Twitter. That is a big thing. The sentiment is still good. People are still here. People are still watching videos. People are still doing this, that, and the other. Yeah, I know you're watching the wrong videos because you're watching BitBoy telling you to sell all your bags. Don't listen to that. Honestly, that is bollocks. Literally, look at the market. Don't look at that. I'm going to look at other things as well, not just Bitcoin, by the way. So stay tuned. But it's an important level. But is it a level to kind of worry that we may go to 21k? I'm not worried yet. Now, the worst case scenario, and I know this is a bullish video, right? I know this is bullish. We could form a lower low on the weekly and we could be hitting around this level. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Is it possible? Obviously, yes, which is why you need to cover it. But overall in the structure, if we're discounting the factor of this top, and this is a B, C sort of correction level already done down to that 29k level or 28,494, we could be looking at the impulse cycle going up and then the recovery going upwards. That's my point. Moving on to other things. BTC dominance. Okay, go to the daily. I still think this is in a great range. I still not worried. I think we are going to potentially, depends on how violent Bitcoin becomes. If it flies up to the moon, people will probably sell altcoins into Bitcoin to capture those gains and to get value appreciation to then cash into stable currencies for the winter. Potentially, that's sometimes what happens. The value appreciation of Bitcoin is often higher in Q4. We've already talked about that in previous videos. It's usually to do with Santa rallies and stuff like that. People want cash. Bitcoin is the easiest thing to pump during that phase. Easy way to do it. Just pump Tether into it, right? That could yield a potential uprising in the BTC dominance where you may feel some short-term pain in BTC value Satoshis, but your USD will be going up. Then you can profit into USD and put it into whatever you want. So we'll see what happens. Personally, I think we're going to go up and then we're going to slam. I think the alt season will come in Q4, but I think there will be value appreciation realized in BTC first to allow that to happen, to get people positioned for them to put their Bitcoin to work into those lower BTC pairs, which is often what happens in an alt season. Moving on to other things that we do need to kind of venture into is the uncertainty of this bad boy. This is the dollar index. It was looking a bit shit yesterday. What happened yesterday? Bitcoin pumped. The whole market pumped as well, obviously. But physically, this is starting to go back up again. I think we're going to go up to this point here and go a bit higher. And we've got to remember potential China bailouts, potentially. Who knows how much they put into certain companies to get those, those companies safe again, especially in the real estate market, which is not handy at the moment. Finally, to end this video. Now, I will be doing a feature on this next week regarding the overall total 2 and total 1 market cap or whatever. It's still looking, in my opinion, not too bad. Go to the weekly, it looks a little bit better, so we can kind of look and gauge it. But this is the thing. We've had a big recovery. We've formed an obvious lower high. This is very, very important. And I often talk about the EMA gap. We've actually went from 2.45 down to this level. The EMA gap has filled on the weekly chart, which is an important thing. So maybe we'll change our bias a little bit if we go below that EMA. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, I don't know. But if we're also thinking the same sort of levels as, say, what we're looking at Bitcoin, right? This is important because we may have already corrected. This is a huge correction anyways throughout the course of the last few days, never mind the last few weeks. You know, we've went top to bottom 28%, 690 billion has came off the market, and we're still relatively okay. But overall, we've got to look at this and think, well, where can it go? It needs to find a level of demand. If it does, right, and say, for example, this whole range here, where these wicks are and where the 618 is, and we start getting buyers stepping in, because naturally what happened is not just so much charting this out, it's more the fact that all your assets, all your altcoins will look very, very similar. They will be at a key demand level, which we've already seen with Bitcoin, we've seen with a few others as well over previous days. When there's been dips, it hits levels and it pops. But realistically, if it does go to the upside, would you be happy with it flying from the short-term pain here? What if it does fly up to that 3.236 trillion? You'd be more than happy. So rough with the smooth. This China FUD seems scripted. It seems obviously scripted that they want something, and that is usually cheap stuff, right? So maybe people are waiting for ways to put their money into cryptocurrency. As I said in a previous video, the Black Swan video, that this issue in China could yield more and more new investors into the crypto market who don't want to put their money into the, you know, the diluting USD dollar, basically, right? So we've got to be careful, but that doesn't mean you got to get shaken out. It's all the same, right? Nothing's changed in the market. There's no dynamic change. No bullshit here. You buy low, you sell high. You buy with money you can afford to lose. You aim to get passive income and chill out and become risk-free. When that is all happening, you can be able to take these little dips, so to speak, stock people call them crashes, in your stride. So enjoy. Have a great weekend. Don't flap too much. And I'll see you again on this channel on Monday. If you're in my Patreon, there'll be videos over the weekend, as normal. Enjoy.